Oh, what's going on, guys, folks, everyone out there in YouTube and podcast world? This is the first episode of the Real Flavor Podcast, starring your boy Snack Morris over here. You can find me on Instagram at snackking24 snack.king 24/7 on Instagram. I'm here with my cousine, my good buddy,
What's up, brother?
Big Dan.
Big Dan. So this is cool, man. This is an opportunity that we've been kind of looking forward to doing for a long time. And since you moved to Florida, like we've always seemed to like want to do these things like across states. But it is a pretty good idea, dude. I think it's a really legit idea, especially to kind of talk about some stuff that's really, really relevant. Food is always going to be relevant, and I feel like movies are kind of in the shitter right now, which I think, some opinions getting out into the world can kind of change some of these $1 billion views on some stuff. So speaking
That's
of
what we do.
holidays, man, what are you eating already? It's Christmas leftovers or what's up?
So we both grew up in Yonkers, man. Was your elementary school not ghetto as fuck? So real quick, my elementary school used to have an after school program, and after my grandmother had passed away, she used to pick me up from school. My parents did, but they got out much later than when I was getting out of school. So instead of milk and cookies, they used to serve us cookies and orange juice. So to this
That's
day,
like cereal and water.
bro, to this day, I still fuck with chocolate chip cookies and orange juice because of my super ghetto elementary school. However, shout out to Trader Joe's. These things are.
Wait, are you actually dunking in the orange juice?
No, I'm not psychotic. They're cookie dunkers, chocolate chip cookie. What they are is they're like a biscotti shaped chocolate cookie, like chocolate chip cookie, but then
like
they
a
have
biscotti, but actually good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't taste anything like a biscotti. It's just shaped either like a biscotti or like a dick biscotti. A
biscotti looks like if the wood that IKEA uses to make coffee tables was a dessert, it would actually be biscotti.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the booze and those things, they'd be useless.
Dude, I remember like some of the things that I remember from my childhood are like the dumb stuff. Like I wasn't allowed to drink while I ate, and it's something that like translated to me in adulthood. Like I'll have 3 Diet Cokes before I eat anything, and then I'll eat the entire meal without drinking ever again.
Yeah, because when you drink while you eat, well, at least when you're a kid, you tend to like not want to eat. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like being like 6 years old and like not wanting to eat. Like my son does it now. He's like a human garbage can at 20 months, but there's times he just refuses things just for the sake of refusing them, and it's like I know he likes it. It's just, learned how to be defiant, so he just does it.
That's awesome, man. But how are the holidays overall, dude? How is the Feast of the Seven Fishes?
The Feast of the Seven Fishes. Yes, you guinea bastard. Yes. Find it hard to believe, both of us being Italian Americans, that you don't even do this.
No, you know what's fucking wild is I didn't even, and this is a true story, and I'll admit this, and I told my girlfriend, but I didn't know what the Feast of the Seven Fishes was until you told me, probably a decade ago. I knew that sometimes we had fish on Christmas Eve, but like I didn't know there was a title and story to it.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea where it derives from. I'd have to look it up.
Reason. I feel like everything in history always has some ridiculous reason why it got started.
It's probably because there's a lot of fishermen in Italy, and they, but essentially what it is that you have 7 fishes, and you can prepare them any way you want. The way we do it in my house is we make a zuppa de pesce, and it'll have like, for all those who don't know what a zuppa de pesce is, it's basically
a red sauce pasta, like fish soup.
Basically, yeah. Soup of the sea, but it's not a literal soup. It's you can even do the red sauce, or you can do like a garlic and oil sauce, but more traditionally people do it in a red sauce. A marinade, and we have galamad in it, which is calamari for those who don't speak
New York
Italian. Yeah, there you go. Jinx, show me ricotta. Galamad, shrimp, clams, mussels. What's that for?
There's usually scallops. Some kind of like, isn't there cod in there or flounder or
I mean,
something.
you honestly can do any five fishes that you want. Those are the ones we did. We did scallops was the fifth one. We usually do crab legs, but me and you are the only ones that really eat the crab legs. So I made crab cakes and
Because it's a
lobster tails.
fucking battle to eat a crab leg.
It's the worst.
You
It
got
is.
you
It's
like
like
it's one of the only foods besides like lobster that involves a fucking pair of scissors.
oh yeah, I do. But you know, honestly, you gotta. People always go for the joints, which is good. You got to get good at cracking it down the middle, because once you crack it down the middle, it's game time.
But you know what's funny too about that? Like it probably comes from somewhere along the lines of like, remember, I think they fucking, I don't know where I learned this, but lobster used to be a poor person's food because it was like the cockroach of the sea. Nice. Podcast one, Frozen Mike, somewhere deep in thought, somewhere down in Tampa. So yeah, bro, like I think it comes down to the fact that like they just thought it was shit food. Like maybe like my family from Italy, like when they were there, they were kind of poor. Like I remember one year they put chicken feet on the table just to like remind us of like where we came from, which is, I mean,
The feet of the chicken.
the morals like and the
Did that ever bug
humbleness.
you out when you see people at a supermarket buying chicken feet?
I've never seen a supermarket that sells chicken feet. I'm sure you could
Oh,
ask for them, but
dude, do they have any food bazaars near you? I know they had some in like Mount Vernon in the
yeah, no,
Bronx.
no. There's one up in Cliffside Park.
They sell them.
You gotta like toenail clip them, but
But like, what do you
apparently
eat on them?
they make. I mean, you can eat the meat, but if you put them in like and make a stock with them because they have so much like gelatin in them, they make really good stock. So like, if
See,
you ever
that I
put,
believe. I feel like that's what they're using it
if
for.
you put like chicken stock or like a bouillon or something into like a dish, chances are chicken feet touch some of that. I feel like that's
I always,
a fair
I
assessment.
always feel like I see like Jamaican people or like black people from like the islands. I always see them eating it, and I'm always curious. I always want to ask like what they're making because I know that it's probably something like crazy and it's probably good and spicy, but I don't want to be like your average typical white guy that's like, oh,
Like you
what is that? Does it have
anti-cultural stuff.
mayonnaise?
Yeah, no.
You
I
know,
mean,
so
yeah,
I
just
fucking hate
mention
mayonnaise.
anything that's not jerk chicken and you should be fine because like every country I feel like has their staple. Like you have the butter chicken, you have spaghetti and meatballs, you have jerk chicken. As long as you know like one other thing, you get some buy-in somewhere.
So what did you do for the holidays, Chief? What did you? Where'd you go? What'd
So
you eat?
so since my entire family has moved away,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's moved down south. You know, Rebecca's family's all down south.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have a lot more limited options here. So I've kind of taken to the Jewish tradition of doing Chinese food on Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, because I mean, there's two of us. It makes sense. Like Chinese places are open; they don't celebrate Christmas. Jewish people, Hanukkah's already over. But we found this place.
Asian people don't celebrate Christmas?
No,
That
no,
was, I just thought they were always open because they were just G's. They just like making
no.
money.
They do have this weird Thanksgiving tradition. I think in Japan, on our
Oh,
Thanksgiving, they eat KFC.
shut up.
I mean, great for KFC that they were involved in that trend, but no. So there's this place in Teaneck in New Jersey. It's called Chopsticks. It's owned by a Jewish guy. It's a
That's
kosher.
racist as fucking hell. I love
I
it.
mean, they've paired up for holidays that are not Catholic, but it's a kosher Chinese place.
There used to be a place in the Bronx in Riverdale. It was a kosher Mexican restaurant, and I used to be like, if you can't put meat and cheese together, I mean, why am I going to a Mexican restaurant and not having a fucking burrito or a taco or a chimichanga or anything that I've been raised as a white man to enjoy?
I'm not gonna lie, I love cotija cheese. I really do. It's delicious. Oh,
All right, so since you do Chinese food for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day,
so Christmas Day.
okay. So what are your top three Chinese takeout orders all
So
time?
you got to go kung pao,
Okay, Kung Pao what?
kung pao chicken always.
Okay.
A
Hmm.
backup to that would probably be chicken and garlic sauce,
Ooh,
and then a backup to that would be General Tso's chicken.
All right.
Beef and broccoli is completely gone for me, 1000%. But I feel like no order is really complete without scallion pancakes.
My wife loves scallop pancakes. I've
I
come around on them. They're pretty good.
can't get enough of them.
Mine would have to be number one, chicken lo mein, because as a guinea, I have to find pasta somewhere.
They are the
Two,
originator of noodles. You know that, right?
I know.
Common held belief right there, bro.
That's all right. We perfected it. I thank them every day. Thank you, thank you, Chinese Jesus. Two, mushu pork.
Huh. That's something
Nothing
you
with
don't get a lot
nothing
of.
like making it a little Mexican. A
What
little
is a
Mexican there.
what is a mushu?
No idea, but it's like shredded cabbage and it's got mushroom and it's got pork, or you can do chicken or beef or shrimp even, I think. And they give you like these like rice sheets and you kind of make it into your own like burrito.
So it's like a
It's like Mexican
do-it-yourself type
style.
of meal.
Yeah, they give you about 7 pounds of mushu, which is like 6.5 pounds of shredded cabbage and mushroom, and then they give you 4 pancakes. So literally, after rolling two, I just like raw dog it with a fork. And my last one would probably be honestly just a large wonton soup and like two egg rolls, man, and just slather those bad boys in duck sauce. I don't know if that's a meal,
So
but
let me ask a question. Are you middle of the egg roll or are you beginning end of egg roll?
oh, do you mean like do I cut it?
No. Like I prefer the ends of the egg roll because that's where all the dough is wrapped. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are very like, nah, like I hate that. That's too much dough. But like for me, by the time you get to the end, it's like
Mm,
soaked. It's like a grease knot of dough, and it's the garlic knot in my soul that makes me think of that.
maybe.
But like that's my
So
favorite part of the egg roll.
to answer your question, it's all context. If there's not a lot of pork inside them, then I'm an ends guy. But if there's a lot of pork in them, I'm a middle guy. If I go to like a sit down Chinese restaurant, like a non takeout place, I always cut them first. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I feel like I have couth. I don't know.
It's a good word.
Couth. Couldn't spell it to save my life. But
No, but yeah, no, that makes sense. I feel like there's so few sit down and eat Chinese restaurants. Like that's like the whole concept of their restaurant business is like we will deliver in any weather during any holiday, even the apocalypse.
dude, when I was a kid, you remember the Chinese restaurant in my neighborhood, the Golden Dragon?
Hmm.
So I remember one time I was like 11 or 12. Dude's car overheated that was delivering there. I was riding by on my bike and he asked me if he could borrow my bike. He did like a handful of orders on like the
The
handlebars. He
handlebars.
came back like an hour later and gave me like a ton of free food. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life, but it worked out.
I feel like they have those delivery drivers tied to like some kind of like profit share or something. Like if you don't get
Dude,
this
he was
food
probably
out,
the owner, the cook, the delivery driver, the guy who answered the phone. Like he was a one man show. That guy.
no. But honestly, like the Jewish tradition of Chinese food is actually not bad, bro. Like it's pretty
Well,
good.
side note about the Golden Dragon before you further. That guy, like 10 years later, held his family hostage in his house at gunpoint.
Maybe he couldn't find a bicycle to deliver
Yeah,
his food.
yeah. No, I just wanted to add that in there. I don't know what happened to them. I hope they're all still alive. But please continue.
I'm not gonna lie, like more extreme than Kuth. So I don't really know what to do right now. I'm gonna hit the mental reset button because that's a horrible story, especially not to have the ending. How'd you not
Oh,
follow
dude,
through on that?
I don't know. He might have killed his family. I don't know.
That's like
We're still looking into it.
that should be something that was immediately on Channel 12 News.
I gotta be honest with you, dude. That entire like neighborhood was like rife with like business owners. There was the guy a couple blocks away on the other side of Cross County, the mall, that held his family hostage at shotgun point. Then there was the strip club that was like three doors down from the Chinese restaurant that someone was shot in front of that. I was actually walking home when that happened. I didn't witness it, but I heard it. I was like a few blocks away. Yeah, that was like a weird hub of like really good pizza and Chinese food and
But bad
like
family
murder apparently.
dynamics.
Yeah,
Like
like murder.
Dr. Phil should have done a special on Yonkers, and he could have solved a lot of people's problems apparently.
Oh, Yonkers Avenue, for all of you not familiar, is in Yonkers. I don't know. I don't know if that gave it away.
No, but
Yeah.
speaking of family traditions and Italian food and all that type, second part of what we do here, right, besides drink orange juice and chocolate chip cookies, is
Don't knock it till you try it.
the discussion of film, man. Like, and we have a good one. I think, like, when we were thinking of like the episode, I think when you came to me with this, I think it's a common held thing that like a lot of people hate on sequels, and I feel like this is
Dude.
one that doesn't really get mixed into that conversation a lot. Like you
And I
were
don't
saying, like when we
understand
were talking,
why.
like we were pre-gaming this whole episode, it was like Aliens to Alien, Terminator 2 to Terminator. Like, there's a lot of conversations, Godfather 2 to Godfather 1. Like, there's a lot of combos about what the better film is. And I feel
Hmm.
like Rocky 2 is just never in that conversation.
And I think that's because the first one is such a Cinderella story, not only like on the screen, but in real life. Everyone had that year, I think it was 76. So it was the 77. It was made in 76. So the 77 Oscars, everyone had Scorsese's Taxi Driver like running away with it. And here comes this movie out of nowhere, taking, I think it was best screenplay, best director, and best picture. And at the time, Stallone was an unknown. I know you have some good trivia bits about these movies. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so it ran away with it, it won it, and I think because Rocky 2 was nominated for literally nothing, that it doesn't get the burn that it should. But if I may, can I lay out a few points as to why I think it's a better film?
Before we get to the points, is this like being Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan's era? Like it was just a victim of time circumstance?
I think it was just a victim of not being the first one. I think you know what I mean. It went from being something that was an underdog, it's about an underdog, and being an actual underdog story itself, on how it was nominated and won. That I think the second one was such a shoe in to be like successful because of how successful the first one became. That I think it lost its like underdog status.
Yeah.
Because I mean, so Stallone wrote the original. He wrote and directed the second one. John G. Avildsen, who also directed the original Karate Kid, amongst other
Didn't
films.
he back out?
I don't know if he backed out, but I know that Stallone. So originally they wanted like Burt Reynolds or like James Caan to be Rocky because Stallone was like a nobody, and they were like, if this movie's going to be at all a success, we need someone that's like a
Like a
real bona
name,
fide
like a
movie
household
star.
name.
Can you imagine Burt Reynolds talking like Rocky Balboa? Dude, that has like SNL parody written all over it. Like it would have been a train wreck, dude.
Fun fact, I think an episode should be done on all the lifetime roles that Burt Reynolds turned down. That would have
Oh,
changed
dude, he turned down everything.
the face of cinema. Like he turned down James Bond. He turned down,
So
dude,
weird.
Han Solo, he turned down.
So did Al Pacino, and he said that was one of his all-time regrets.
You know what's funny?
Was
Burt
turning that
Reynolds says
down.
he doesn't regret it though.
Well, Burt Reynolds is dead.
And he
We still
feels
have
like,
Al.
it served. But I feel like if Burt Reynolds had done Rocky, the whole like those are the accent is like one of those nuances that make you fall in love with the character. And I feel like Burt Reynolds just never would have even given a shit.
No, dude, please. They
It would
would.
have
They, I
been
don't even know
Kevin
if he would have been
Costner's
able to be
Robin
the
Hood.
Italian Stallion. I don't even know. Like that's the one thing about Stallone too, man. Like his like famous movies, like Rambo, Rocky. Like people don't give him enough credit for being like a good actor. Like you can't envision anybody else playing those roles. If they did, it wouldn't be the same. Like he's in the boxing hall of fame for his contributions to the sport. He's not a boxer. Like that's how good he is if put in the correct like positioning. That I mean, he's synonymous with that role. Like it's indistinguishable between Stallone and Rocky Balboa. Like if you meet Stallone, I know you met him once a long time ago. Did you expect him to talk like Rocky Balboa?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like nobody else could pull that off. You know,
It's true. Nah, I think
he's a much better actor than people give him credit for.
it's
I
so
think.
crazy too because I feel like there's less action because there's a lull in the movie. Like if you were to go back in the movie that whole time frame where like she's pregnant and everything, like there's a really big lull of like
In
him
two,
going, yeah, him going through like all the the religious stuff and praying and reading and all this stuff, but like
it's
the
engaging.
the excitement, like where that puts you mentally to where it takes you by the end of the movie is like when he says, "Yo, Adrian, like I did it, we did it," like, bro,
Oh my god, dude, that so that gets me all the time when people misquote the original Rocky and they quote the second one. It's like,
yeah,
dude, you don't even know what movie you like. All right, so really quick for the audience, just in case you guys have not seen these movies or never seen them in a long time, whatever the case is, really quick. In the first movie, Rocky is like he's like a loan shark, works for the
he
mob,
breaks
is
legs, bro.
he's
He
the
breaks
leg breaker,
legs.
works on the docks. He's like an amateur
Why
boxer.
they're
Apollo
always
Creed is like
there's
Muhammad Ali.
always docs in the mop,
I
always.
mean, where else are you gonna go? You're gonna hang out on the docks. And yeah, so like he just picks him because his name is the Italian Stallion, and America was founded by an Italian explorer. So why not fight him on the centennial of the America? And Apollo is super famous, super rich. He doesn't take it seriously. Rocky's got nothing. He's broke. He's got nothing to lose, and he goes the distance with the champ. Loses in the end, but that's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is that a nobody went the distance with the champ. That's the first one. The second one picks up immediately after we're in the hospital. He's saying, Apollo's saying he don't want no rematch, nothing like that. It starts off immediately with him in the hospital. They're arguing on the in the hospital lobby, and his ego can't take it that he almost lost and took a beating from an absolute nobody.
You know what's crazy too? When he kind of wheels himself over to Apollo's room, he goes, "Did you give me your best?" And that was
Yeah,
the
that's
only
what I'm saying.
time
There's a lot of
Apollo
touching moments like that.
that was like he was honest and he didn't let his ego check him back into like his version of reality. He was like, "Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
did.
scary shit."
Well, there's actually a great line in that movie when Apollo's hell bent on getting Rocky to fight again, and his trainer, Apollo's trainer, doesn't want him to have anything to do with it. And he says to him, he
I
says,
know
"I saw
exactly what
you."
line you're
Oh,
about to
dude, it's
quote,
such a
bro.
great line. I have goosebumps. He's like, "I saw that man take a beating like no other man has, and he kept coming after you. That's not a man we want in our lives."
It's a
That's
fact.
it. He had nothing to lose. And so this and the whole entire thing with the second movie is that Rocky has to have surgery on his eye. He's told he can't fight again because he could ruin his eye. He can go blind. So Adrian doesn't want him to fight. His trainer Mickey doesn't want him to fight. But
Mickey
he's not
slaps him in the
smart.
face. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm an old guy. Imagine what the
Oh
champ
yeah.
will
When he
do to
does
you."
the thing, he's like, "Can you see it coming?" He goes, "Look what I did. Look, imagine what the champ will do to you." You know. But that's the thing. He doesn't know how to do anything else but be a loan shark and be a fighter. And he doesn't want to do the loan sharking thing anymore because now he's kind of famous. He's not educated or smart enough. He tries to do commercials, that fails. So he goes to get a job with Paulie at the meat factory, where he punches the meat in the first one. They lay him off. So he's got like this internal battle of like, I don't know what else to do, but the one thing I kind of am good at, if I do it, I'm gonna let my wife down. I could be blind. And then in the middle of the whole thing, his wife gets pregnant. So he really doesn't want to do it, but he knows he needs to. There's none of that dynamic in the first one.
No.
And then she gets into an argument with her brother. She goes into labor early, and then she, goes into the coma. And like you said, he spends all that time praying and everything, and he will not train until she gives him the
But
okay.
despite the fact that the fight is on, he signed the contract for the fight.
Yeah,
Like they
he
have to
signs the
fight.
contract behind her back. Yeah, after he gets all that taunting on TV from Apollo, and he takes all those slings and arrows, and he takes it with grace, man. Like people see him in like the street, and they're like, "Oh, like why aren't you fighting? Like you're a bum, like blah blah blah." Yeah, and then he won't take it seriously. He's training like shit. He's not taking it seriously until his wife tells him that she gives him his blessing. Then he does the other famous thing. He runs all the way through the thing with the kids following him. There's so many iconic like
Bro,
imagery in that film.
when she tells him to win, I
Oh,
don't
another
think
great
there's a
line.
human being in the entire range of like from the most stoic, like I have no emotions ever to the most emotional human being ever. Like when she says win And Mickey goes, "What are we waiting for?" And then that montage of the training sequence
The
drops.
music kicks in.
Bro, it's one of the
It
best
is.
transitions in film I've ever seen.
It is. And what's even better about it too is that there's also another sneaky line in there when she comes out of the coma and they bring the baby in the room and he's like, I waited to see him for the first time with you.
Yeah,
Like that's Stallone has a lot of like heartfelt stuff in those movies, especially that one. And I think that's because they didn't intend on there being more than two.
bro. How about the fact and this definitely doesn't get mentioned. He had in the movie like he had to learn how to fight right handed to
Oh,
protect his
another
eye.
brilliant part of the movie.
He literally like Mickey literally ties his left arm up and goes hit this bag 500 times.
Dude, another thing with how brilliant that movie is. The scene with the chicken, not in the first one, in the second one, because he's like, you have to protect the eye, and you might not survive another beating from possibly the greatest fighter of all time. So they devise a
Like he would
plan
have
that,
wrecked him.
yeah, he's a left-handed fighter who learns how to fight right, and the whole plan is when you get the champ where you want him, you switch to the left, and he'll never see it coming. And it works.
Yeah.
When they both go down, that's the only part of that movie that kind of annoys me, is because it's the longest 10 count in movie history, in boxing history. And I honestly think that you can tell a little bit that like Apollo was about to get up, but kind of like bailed out on it. And I think it's a hard thing to film.
It
But
is. No,
and
because
then he
like
wins.
that's it, man. Like
And
you
then he
almost
wins.
you literally the culmination is almost a double TKO.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's literally what it comes down to.
And it goes to show you how formidable Apollo was. People forget, like he fights Drago, he fights Clubber Lang, he fights the guy who got AIDS that lived in Yonkers that died.
Tommy Gunn?
Was it Tommy Morrison? Like he fights all these people, but honestly, I think his toughest opponent was
Yeah.
Apollo because even like the first fight he loses, and the second fight he's seconds away from losing again.
Bro, do you know it's on IMDb that Apollo Creed does not smile once the entire movie?
Oh, and the second one, no,
What the
because all he did was smile in the first one. He's serious, and that's what's scary about the second one too, is that he got the joke version of Apollo until Apollo realized that he came to play. Apollo is all business. He doesn't do any showmanship, nothing. Like you're getting the most dangerous version of him.
Yeah, because
You
he
know?
definitely stepped it up. Like when he did the smear campaign and everything, he was like he won the fight, but he didn't win. And Apollo knew that.
Right.
Because popular
Apollo
opinion
wanted to take
says,
him out.
yo, if there was one more round, like, bro, that rib was broken.
Oh yeah.
Because he
That's
busted his
also
rib.
another thing. Did that ever piss you off about the first movie? How short that last round is? It's like 5 seconds long.
Bro,
I don't know.
we all
He was
know
so
that
close to
Rocky
it.
was devoted. Like, Mick cut him above the eye, drained the blood, but like,
I mean, the first don't get me wrong.
that rib
The
was
first one's
broken.
iconic. The
He
first
would
one's
have won
iconic.
if it went one more.
The first one's iconic. And I'm not trying to say that the second one is hands down a better movie, but I think it should be in the conversation to at least being equal to.
No, I agree.
You know? You agree?
No, I
Yeah.
think I mean, listen, it's fostered what, six sequels from there?
Yeah, and honestly, all our favorite ones when we were kids were really just like 90-minute, like sweaty Stallone with his shirt off. And we all just wanted to look like that when we were like 11.
Yeah, like three. I mean, three was good. It's got iconicness because Mickey dies. Four is spectacular.
Well, three is the only one where he becomes civilized. He doesn't talk like an idiot, you know. He's kind of intelligent, and he gets the rug. He finally gets out of the hole that that shit neighborhood, the hole that he was in, to have it taken out underneath him from someone who's just like him, got
Yeah,
nothing to lose. Yeah, three is actually a pretty good movie too. When you think about the central themes, the fourth one is just propaganda for the Cold War.
yeah,
I mean, that's
thousand
all that
percent.
is.
I don't really know what they were trying to go with the fifth one. I think the fifth one was more of like a personal thing for him because it was his real son. They really weren't talking like
Yeah,
back then, and now like obviously Sage is gone. So like,
yeah. But I mean, honestly, the fifth one is people hate the fifth one. The people hate the fifth one because there's no training montage that involves him, and there's no like bout. It's he thought he was doing a good thing for a guy that was similar to him, and the dude stabbed him in the back, and then tried to embarrass him. And that also has another great line. You knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now?
That is a good one.
Fantastic.
No, that is a good one. No, Stallone, he goes the distance, man. Like I remember there's a fact about him from Rocky 4 where he asked like Dolph Lundgren to like actually punch him and he collapsed his
Oh
lung.
yeah. Yeah. Didn't he like cause swelling around his heart too?
Yeah, they had to take a low altitude flight to a hospital because like his
Dude.
lung had collapsed. Like even
Dude,
the
but I mean,
Expendables, his
Lundgren's a
fight with
big
Stone
guy,
Cold,
bro. He's like 6'6".
bro. When he fought Stone
Huge.
Cold in Expendables, he fractured his skull.
Jesus Christ.
Like Stallone is like he's about it, man. Like
Dude. He's like the Tom Cruise of boxing movies.
he is a Tom Cruise of boxing movies. I know that like there was definitely beef on Creed 3, which is why he bowed out because he was
Well, that's
definitely
what him in the studio. They're
yeah. It's
scumbags.
not with him and Michael B. Jordan. It's him and I think it
No.
was the guy they picked to direct it. He didn't like the direction they wanted to take it. I mean, he said he would come back, but I mean, he keeps the story going. Like he knows that it's about the person as much as it's about the boxing, which is
Yeah,
why
and the guy who directed Black Panther 1 and 2, Ryan Coogler, he's the one who came up with it. And he actually was ready to put Rocky to bed until somebody came to him with a different spin on it, you know?
Ryan Coogler is actually a really good director. He just
He is.
he had a flare up, and now he's kind of I don't really know
Did
what
you
he's
hear
doing.
what did you hear what he's bringing back?
What
A fucking X-Files as a producer?
is he really?
Yeah.
People always find their way back into TV, bro. Sooner or later.
That should be good.
No, but
It's gonna have a more diverse cast, so I wonder if it's just gonna be like a Black Mulder and Scully, or like if they're gonna have different names. I mean, either way, I'm down. Dude, wouldn't it be cool if they were like Black Mulder and Scully from like a different dimension, and then they meet like
the actual
White
Mulder and
Mulder and
Scully.
Scully? Yeah, some like interdimensional episode because it's like the
Cool.
X Files and that shit's possible. That would be fun. If Ryan Coogler ever by any chance, we're gonna hashtag him. If he ever sees this, do that episode. Just one. Do that episode.
No, but you know what's sad? Like as much as we could talk about like Rocky 2 and everything, like I mean, Sylvester Stallone's like 82 years old, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Like
God bless. If I
we were fortunate,
Dude, are you gonna cry when you find out he dies?
dude. It's gonna hit. It's gonna
Because I
hit.
mean, when you're getting, I mean, he's still in his 70s, but I'm saying like when you're like 85 years old, literally any day. I mean, I know right now at like 38 years old, any day could be the day. Like I could walk outside after doing this podcast with you and get hit by a golf cart because golf carts for some reason are very
One
popular in
Ramsey
Florida.
down in Florida.
Oh my God, people drive them like you drive a car anywhere else. You know, so I could die literally any minute. But when you're 85, it's literally like I could go to bed tonight and not wake up. Like I would never go to bed. I'd be up all the time. I'd be drinking 14 cups of coffee. I'd be afraid. So I'm afraid now.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. But do you have a Trader Joe's near you?
Of course, bro, I could literally walk to the Trader Joe's near me.
Please get these.
I don't know,
Please.
bro. I really hate biscotti, and like I get that they're a chocolate chip cookie in the shape, but biscotti and panettone are ruined for the rest of my life. I'm good.
I think panettone is one of those things where like it's a gift given when you don't know what to give and you just don't want to be empty-handed.
I'd rather
But they're really
throw
not
it at
that
a
bad.
wall just to see what it does.
You know what actually I could go in for the mood for? What I'm really in the mood for? You remember the bar in Scarsdale? I used to work at Jackie B's. Shout out Jackie B's, 28 Garth Road, Scarsdale, New York.
Wow, plug.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I could go for a burger from. Dude, you know who used to eat there? You know Ben Schwartz?
I thought you were gonna say Sylvester Stallone, but no.
No, I wish you fucking. I would never left. I think his name is Ben. He's the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. He was "You're the worst" on fucking Parks and Rec.
I know Jaleel White was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, I'm talking about the movies with James Marsden.
Oh no, I have no idea.
Fuck. Let me see. Ben Schwartz. Hold on. Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz. Let's see. But you ever watch Parks and Rec?
No, but I love their gifs, so I feel like I should watch them.
Yeah. Fucking Ben Schwartz. This fucking guy. Hold on. Can you see him? Can you see this?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Dude, he's from fucking Scarsdale or Ardsley or some shit. He was on a podcast or he was on some kind of interview show, and they were asking him about food, and he was saying that. So the guy who owns Jackie B's is a guy named Scott, and he owns the deli next door, Giannoni's, and Giannoni's does this thing during Thanksgiving break where they close for the they work their regular hours and they're closed. Then they open up at like 10, 11 o'clock and they're open to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for all like the college kids who are back in town. And
Yeah.
dude, there's a line like around the block. But they asked him about some food thing, Ben Schwartz, and he's like, "Oh, this sandwich that's made with like chicken fingers on from Giannoni's in Scarsdale, my old neighborhood." And they have like a chef person make one for him on the show, and he's like, "Yo, it's not as good." And then they fucking FaceTimed the owner of Giannoni's,
Wow.
my old boss, and they like know each other. Like he's like, "Oh my God, Scott, how the fuck you been?" Like blah blah. Like that was really cool. I thought that was like really cool. So shout out to them too. Like if anyone from New York is there, go tell them you want the Ben Schwartz fucking chicken tender sandwich, man.
Bro, do you know why fiction is so much cooler than real life?
Because real life has consequences that aren't
Bro,
scripted. Got
so
deep.
I'm gonna read this to you, and you can tell me like your thoughts on this. And I'm so glad I didn't fucking know that this was a thing, because
Okay.
like obviously if you watch Rocky, like and you're not into boxing, you assume that everything in Rocky is mostly accurate.
Yeah, tell
So
me something.
at the end of the
Trivia
rematch,
time.
Rocky knocks Apollo down and then falls to the
Mhm.
canvas with him simultaneously after following through on the punch he lands. The announcers both mentioned the first to get up would be the winner, and if neither of them had gotten up, it would have been a draw and Apollo would have kept the title. While the latter is true, the champion does retain the title if the decision is a draw. That would never have happened if it had been a real fight, since Rocky slipped, fell, and knocked Apollo down. Rocky would have been declared the winner because he knocked Apollo down and stumbled to the canvas rather than being knocked down by Apollo. Even though he got up first,
Really?
Rocky falling to the canvas would have been ruled a slip, and Rocky would have won by knockout anyway.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm not really up on my boxing rules, but
I got it. Not
fuck,
knowing that definitely upped the intensity. Like I never thought about it
yeah.
like that. I thought
I
like he just
I
fucking
have to
knocked himself
rewatch that
out.
movie now. It sheds it in a whole different light.
101
You know?
people found that helpful. One person disliked it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Is
dislike.
IMDb, more commonly known as IMDb, like I just said, uh, are they like Wikipedia where you can just like make shit up?
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I get bored, like I'll look up movies that like I've watched 1,000 times, and I'll just
Can
trivia
you
shit.
add something to that?
I have to create like an account, which I think I have, but I'm gonna
Can you say that the original choice to play Apollo Creed was B. Arthur? I want to see if anybody believes that. Add that.
like from isn't that Golden
Golden?
Girls?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Dorothy's Bornak. I
I
mean,
mean,
she's taller than Stallone. Why not?
I mean, James Cameron's original choice for the Terminator was OJ, but he said he didn't look like a killer.
Yeah, that didn't age well.
No, it didn't.
Not too
Way
bad.
off. Way off on
Way off.
characterization.
And here we are thinking he. Oh, by the way, speaking of Cameron, have you watched that 4K restoration of The Abyss?
I have
How is it? Mind
everything,
blowing.
everything I wanted it to be.
Do you prefer the original ending or the extended,
I didn't even know
where
there
they
was
show
an
the
extended one.
destruction of the planet, like the tsunami and everything?
No, I never seen that.
What,
I've
dude?
I never
Is it
even
in the
knew there was.
special features?
Bro, I don't buy physical anything, so I don't get bonus
But
features.
you don't get bonus features in the digital,
No,
dude. Growing up, I had that on VHS with the THX logo on it. And there's an extended version of that movie where the aliens show Ed Harris like a tsunami that like destroys shit. Like they show him like consequences.
is it to Earth or to their planet originally?
No, to Earth. Yeah. Also, it's completely off topic, but have you ever seen Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, so I think we should. I'm going to mention this, but I think a future episode we need to talk about movies with alternate endings that are just a butt fuck. Because in that movie, the alternate ending of that movie is they don't kill the plant. and it has like plant offspring, and throughout the credits, it shows like the plants taking over the planet.
So it's Tremors and Tremors 2.
Yes. Yes.
So ridiculous. That's
It's
such a
unbelievable.
cheesy way to keep it going. It's like the end of Godzilla where you're like, oh, there's one egg left.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That movie sucks. I don't know. I
We'll debate that one. But no, I think as far as Stallone and Carl Weathers go, I think Stallone did his thing. I'm happy I didn't know that. I am gonna thumbs down that because I don't like that that's
I
a rule.
and I also didn't know that the original choice for Apollo Creed was B. Arthur. I had no idea.
That's gonna be on IMDb and 1,200 people will find that helpful.
I had no idea. It makes sense because of the massive height difference between her and Stallone.
Massive.
Oh my god.
Stallone's like
Huge.
5'5".
Yeah, she's like 6'3".
You never see the
I'm not gonna
platform
lie to
shoes
you.
these guys have to fucking wear.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was actually watching Golden Girls when you called.
Were you?
Yeah, TV Land, Ladies of the Lanai.
I feel like I
On
never
all day.
watch TV anymore. Like it's usually just reserved for movies. But
Yeah, well, I have a child now. I watch when I can.
so
That's total bullshit. I let him watch whatever I watch. That kid's fucked. What the hell were we watching? We were watching Thanksgiving, the Eli Roth movie. Somebody got their head chopped off, and my son was like just staring at the screen. So,
yeah, Eli Roth is definitely a horror guy.
he's in copycat mode right now, my son. So fingers crossed he doesn't chop my head off.
I mean, he might try if you got him like you got him a lot of gifts. Is there
Yeah, I
like
got
a
him a lot of
toy
toys.
saw he can like?
Well, he does have a broom he likes to sweep. Oh, did you want to see my shirt? So I got my shirt. Got completely ripped off for this shirt at the beach. Can you see it?
Father and son, best friends. Wow,
Faux life.
that's a
Yes.
shirt that should be a Tinder flag.
If I had a Tinder profile, it would be my.
If you were a single dad, yeah, you're not.
Well, if I had a Tinder profile, it would be my main picture, just the shirt. Unemployed, live with my parents, got a kid.
Father and son.
Open those legs.
But no, this draws it to a close. I think
Episode 1
I hope we
in the
did
books.
I hope we did Stallone proud. I hope he actually
Yeah.
gives a shit. I hope one day he looks back at this and he's like, they got it.
Oh, they get it. Honestly, I hope he hears it. I hope he sees it. I hope that God forbid when he passes away, he plays this at his service, and we are invited to give a eulogy.
Maybe they play this as the eulogy.
The whole thing,
It's an
and
honor.
it's catered by Jackie Bees.
If B. Arthur was there, she'd be there, but she can't be there. They're all gone.
God rest her soul.
But
All right, there. All right,
Snack
Kujin.
King.
Till next time.
Till next time,
This
my
guy
man.
and that guy. See you
Bye, bro.
later.